This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
(1:15 p.m.) This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Romesh Piris and read by Geethanjali Ramnayaka. The Most Venerable Annayaka of the Askiri chapter says the President's significant contributions deserve collective endorsement for the progress of the nation. A committee to be set up to prevent potential communal conflict in the north and the east. Sinopec officially begins operations in Sri Lanka. A massive organized fraud uncovered involving vehicle imports and registrations causing loss of revenue to the government. The island-wide Digavapiya Sacred Relics Exposition begins from the Kalaniya Temple. World Sanskrit Day to be celebrated in Sri Lanka for the first time today. International news: UN warns North Korea against selling weapons to Russia for the Ukraine war. Sports: US Open 2023, Stefanos Tsitsipas, Casper Ruud out, Novak Djokovic through. News in detail. The Most Venerable Annayaka of the Askiri chapter, Anamaduwe Dhammadasithera, says that at a time when the country is facing daunting challenges, President Ranil Wickremesinghe's significant contributions deserve collective endorsement for the progress of the nation. The Anunayaka Thera said that it is regrettable that certain individuals fail to comprehend the President's endeavours to rejuvenate Sri Lanka in the aftermath of adverse circumstances. The Anunayaka Thera expressed confidence that the programs initiated by the President for the nation will undoubtedly receive the blessings of the Mahasangha. The Anunayaka Thera revealed that when President Ranil Wickremesinghe visited the historic city of Kandy, the President receives blessings from the erudite Malvathu and Askiri Mahanayaka Theras as well as the Annayaka Theras. While emphasizing the government's resolute dedication to protecting religious shrines and historical sites, President Ranil Wickremesinghe said a committee comprising religious leaders from the respective provinces will be set up aiming at addressing religious matters in the north and the east. During his visit to Kandy, the President underscored that the Sinhalese, Muslim and Tamil communities of that area have united in agreement pledging not to involve external entities. The President stated that in times past, the region was characterized by harmonious coexistence among its inhabitants. He expressed that regrettably, the introduction of external groups has given rise to these recent complications. The head of the state further said that he has communicated this matter to the leader of Vavuniya. Sri Lanka Customs, the Bribery Commission and the Department of Motor Traffic had uncovered a massive organized fraud that has occurred, a loss of more than 5 billion rupees in revenue to the government through illegal import of vehicles and their illegal registrations. It has been revealed that this racket had been going on for a long time and more than 400 vehicles had been imported to Sri Lanka in this manner and have been registered illegally. This was revealed following an investigation conducted into the Mini Cooper type vehicle, which was taken into custody by the Bribery Commission after being imported to Sri Lanka using forged documents. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The procession carrying the crest gem and the sacred omniscient relics of the Digavapiya Stupa, which is scheduled to move around the island for public veneration, arrived at the Kalaniya Rajamahaviharaya, signifying its commencement amidst religious blessings on Tuesday. The inauguration of the 150 days long exposition of the Digavapiya revered articles and the procession travelling around the island auspiciously commenced at the Kalaniya Rajamahaviharaya premises, saw a colourful pageant amidst the blessings of the chief incumbent Venerable Professor Kollupitiya Mahinda Sangarakkhita Thero. The sacred articles will remain at the Kalaniya temple until the 3rd of September for public veneration, and devotees are invited to witness and pay their homage during this exposition. Proposed crest gem has embedded 2,800 precious stones, and these sacred relics are those unearthed from the Digavapia site during excavations. The cultural arm of the High Commission of India in Colombo, Swami Vivekananda Cultural Centre, will observe the World Sanskrit Day for the first time in Colombo today. The Indian High Commission in Colombo said in a statement in line with the event, an academic and cultural event will be held at the Bandaranaike Centre for International Studies in Colombo at 2 p.m. On the occasion of the Silver Jubilee of SVCC, the event is being organized in collaboration with the universities of Sri Lanka. The event will be inaugurated by the High Commissioner of India, Gopal Bagle, and the State Minister of Higher Education, Dr. Suren Raghavan, will attend as the chief guest. And that ends local news for now.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
In the main news story, Sinopec Energy Lanka, the operating entity of Sinopec Group, has officially commenced business operations and started fuel supply at its first franchising filling station in Mattegoda, Colombo. This has taken a significant step towards enhancing Sri Lanka's energy landscape. Sinopec initiated the first round of market promotion measures with a pump discount of 3 rupees per litre for petrol and diesel. Its supply plan is in motion to progressively hand over all 150 filling stations to Sinopec's management before October. Following the arrival of its first 2 consignments of quality petroleum products at the Colombo port in early August, Sinopec successfully completed the dealer supply agreement before commencing full commercial operations, signaling the launch of supply chain that serves 150 filling stations across the island. And that was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Watch Live is brought to you by
CIB Janajaya Vasana. Unbelievable discounts and offers throughout August from CIB Janajaya Vasana. Come today itself.
On to Watch Live this afternoon. In the wake of new patent with meningococcal disease being found from the Colombo district, the health authorities have requested people to be alert on the symptoms of the disease. According to health officials, the common symptoms of the meningococcal disease include fever, chills, fatigue, vomiting, cold hands and feet. The disease was initially detected at the Gaol prison. The newly detected person, aged 49, is a resident of Nivangama Jaila. And that came to you in Watchlight.
CIB Janajaya Vasana. Unbelievable discounts and offers throughout August from CIB Janajaya Vasana. Come today itself.
On to world news. In the headlines, U.S. warns North Korea against selling weapons to Russia for Ukraine war. Mexican opposition pick female election candidate. 52 dead in Johannesburg apartment block fire. The White House has warned North Korea against selling munitions to Russia for its war in Ukraine as tensions between Pyongyang and Washington continue to mount. White House National Security spokesperson John Kirby said on Wednesday that the United States is concerned about potential arms deals between Russia and North Korea. Kirby added that the U.S. believes Russia's Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu tried to convince Pyongyang to sell artillery munitions to Moscow when he visited North Korea and met with its leader Kim Jong-un in July. The U.S. has been warning its competitors and adversaries, including China, against helping Russia in its military offensive in Ukraine. Mexico's opposition coalition has named an outspoken female senator with indigenous roots as their candidate for the 2024 presidential election. Xochitl Galvez, a 60-year-old computer engineer and businesswoman, and her nomination raises the prospect of Mexico having a female president for the first time. Growing up poor as a child, she helped her family sell street food in the central state of Hidalgo. She moved to Mexico City, receiving a scholarship to study computer science. Upon graduation, she launched a lucrative tech company that went on to secure government contracts. South African authorities say at least 52 people have died after a fire broke out in a block of flats in Johannesburg. More than 40 others are injured. Johannesburg authorities say it's unclear what sparked the blaze at the 5-story building in the city centre. A spokesman for the emergency services said that the firefighters had been able to bring out some of the occupants. He said the fire had gutted the building and the search for other victims was continuing. Back to the headlines of the world news. U.S. warns North Korea against selling weapons to Russia for Ukraine war. Mexican opposition pick female election candidate. And 52 dead in Johannesburg apartment block fire. And that ends world news.
Development News is brought to you by
Job opportunities for well-experienced housemaids and home cooks in Saudi Arabia and Kuwait for ages 40 to 58 years. Salary 125,000 rupees. Contact 037 7500 500.
On to development news. The Cabinet has approved an import of 92.1 million eggs from India in the next 3 months. The proposal, presented by President Ranil Wickremesinghe as the Minister of Finance, Economic Stabilisation and National Policy, has been approved by the Cabinet of Ministers. With the aim of stabilising the price of eggs in the local market, the State Trading Corporation has previously approved the importation of eggs and release to the local market. Accordingly, the quotations have been called from the companies in India recommended by the Department of Animal Production and Health. Taking into consideration the recommendation of the Standing Procurement Committee appointed by the Cabinet based on those price quotations, the State Trading Corporation will import 92.1 million eggs in the next 3 months. And that was Development News.
Job opportunities for women from Deshakti Lanka in Saudi Arabia, Kuwait and Oman. Housemaids and home cooks in Saudi Arabia, ages 40 to 58 years. Arabic speaking and well-experienced home cooks. Salary 125,000 rupees. Interviews are now on with foreign agents. You can travel overseas free of charge now. Branches Colombo, Kurunegala, Anuradhapura and Matara. Contact number 0377 500 500. Deshakti Lanka Foreign Employment Agency.
Sports news. US Open 2023 Grand Slam finalists Stefanos Tsitsipas and Casper Ruud became two of the highest US Open men's seeds to fall after shock second-round defeats. 7th seed Tsitsipas lost 7-5, 6-7, 2-7, 6-7, 5-7, 7-6, 8-6, 6-3 to Swiss qualifier Dominic Stricker. Ruud, seed 5th and last year's runner-up, lost 4-6, 7-5, 2-6, 6-0, 2-6 to Chinese world number 67 Zhang Zhizhen. But second seed Novak Djokovic cruised through 6-4, 6-1, 6-1 win over Spain Barnabé Sapta, and Djokovic, who is aiming for a record equaling 24th major title, was already the heavy favourite to reach the men's final from the bottom half of the draw. Serbia's Djokovic plays compatriot Laslo Djere today for a place in the last 16. Meanwhile, in cricket news, Asia Cup 2023, the second day-night match of the tournament in Group B between Sri Lanka and Bangladesh will get underway at 3 p.m. today in Pallekele International Cricket Stadium in Kandy. And that was sports news.
Go ekak thiyana youth eකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු හින හැබැ කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all-new NSB Ithru account, NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
The National ICT Solutions Provider has secured 5 top honours at the National Project Management Excellence Awards 2023, showcasing advancements in technology, cutting-edge innovation, and the ability to drive change. The NPME Conference and Awards 2023, hosted by the Project Management Institute of Sri Lanka chapter, took place at the Kingsbury Hotel, Colombo recently. The company received awards for its outstanding achievements and advancements in various sectors such as robotics, artificial intelligence, telecommunications, education, research, agriculture, and livestock development. These awards highlight SLT Mobitel's continuous commitment to pushing the boundaries of innovation and technological advancement. And that was Business News.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Go එකක් තියන youth එකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු ගින හැබැයි කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all-new NSB Ithru account, NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
On to economic news. The government has collected 1,711 billion rupees in taxes thus far, while the government has targeted to collect around 3,101 billion rupees in tax through the Inland Revenue Department, Sri Lanka Customs and the Excise Department. And that was economic news.
Weather report.
The Department of Meteorology predicts there is a possibility that the prevailing showery condition in the southwestern part of the island to increase from tomorrow. Accordingly, the Met Department said showers will occur at times in the western, Sabaragamuwa, central and in the northwestern province and in the Galle and Mathura districts. Fairly heavy showers, about 75 millimeters, are likely at some places in the western and Sabaragamuwa provinces and in the Galle and Mathura districts. That was the weather report. Prior to concluding this news broadcast, the headlines once again. The Most Venerable Annayaka of the Asgiri chapter says, the President's significant contributions deserve collective endorsement for the progress of the nation. A committee to be set up to prevent potential communal conflicts in the north and the east. Sinopec officially begins its operations in Sri Lanka. A massive organized fraud uncovered involving vehicle imports and registrations causing loss of revenue to the government. The island-wide Diga Vapia sacred relics exposition begins from the Kalaniya temple. World Sanskrit Day to be celebrated in Sri Lanka for the first time today. International news. US warns North Korea against selling weapons to Russia for Ukraine war. Sports. US Open 2023. Stefanos Tsitsipas and Casper Ruud out. Novak Djokovic through. And with that we end this news broadcast from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.